Is Hot Wheels Unleashed 2 dead on arrival? Probably. Let's have a quick look over here. We have the stats for Hot Wheels Unleashed 1 and 2. This is the current players' average and all that sort of stuff. This is low for both games. This is dramatically low. Depending on the time of day, this could be up to like 70, 80. Whereas this, I haven't seen it 40 in the couple of days I've been looking at all this. We can look at all the information we have here from the past, entire time the game's been out. So these are the Steam stats. I don't have console stats because they're just not as accessible as Steam stats. So this is only a portion, and it is through Steam charts, but any discrepancies will be reflected on both sides. So let's have a quick look. First up, I want to just point out this game had an average of 640 players at any moment. This is at any time. So it's generally higher than that, and then when all your main people are asleep, it'll drop that number. But yeah, so an average of 642 players, it's fine. It's pretty good for this. And immediately that dropped to 200, just straight away, as soon as the first month ended. So it was a very popular game on launch and immediately dropped. So the peak players here is how many players at most were available for an entire month. So how many people we had on at once. So at one point we had 2,000 players, and then we never saw more than 300 players for the next month or for the rest of the life of the game. So this is expected, and if we look at DLC releases, we had a DLC release in December, it changed nothing. Had a DLC release in April, which we see reflected on a small boost in players. It had been a pretty big decline until suddenly players shoot up in May. That was for the Monster Truck DLC. And then we see the same thing. The Looney Tunes DLC was July, and we see a boost in players in August. So it's good. It's good to see that these DLCs were bringing people back. And then these are most likely sales, where we've suddenly got these big boosts of players. This is like small boosts, but yeah, this whole area here seemed like it had a sale on the time. Big sale here. And then if we look at September, October, we can see this is when Hot Wheels Unleashed 2 was coming out. People were doing their send-off, their goodbye, and all that sort of stuff, as well as I think there was a sale in October as well. So that obviously bolstered a lot more players. Xbox, you'd see this a lot worse because it's on Game Pass, so there's going to be even more people available on the console version or on the Xbox version. If we look at Hot Wheels Unleashed 2, we see that we only started with a peak of 104, at an average of 104, a peak of 296. That is almost 10% of the players we saw in the original game on launch. Okay, that is less than the players that were playing the first game, the month this launched. A launch month, as we see with the first one, a launch month is huge, okay? We lost a third of our players when the launch month ended. We had just so many more players. Here, the launch month wasn't even as big as the original game in the same month. Okay, we should have seen a much more inflated number of players. I guess people were happy with the first one and wanted to play the first one, and no one wanted to fork out the same price for the same game with some more cars. And then we immediately see that, this month, this game is doing better than it was last. This game is still doing relatively strong, whereas this one is dropping dramatically. It's just constantly dropping players. And when you've got an online system like this one does, where you can't find a game because it resets the lobby every single online match, you end up in a situation where people don't want to play because you're getting lobbies of 3 players tops. I haven't seen a lobby in this of more than 5 players. You will not find a full lobby in this game. You found full lobbies non-stop in the first one. Not so much now. Yes, the player base has dropped a lot. But not to 30 players. At no point has this had an average of 30 players in its 2-year lifespan. This is starting with it. Okay, at no point did... There's 100... Oh, we did get below 100. At no point did this one drop below... What is this? The 152 in 1 month. This is the 152 peak. this can't even peak at 100. We can't get a day. We can't get a moment with 100 players on. It's awful. Like, this is what happens when you don't listen to your community and when you silence people who say this is not working. They promised crossplay. They lied about it. We haven't got crossplay. What we've got is just garbage. It's not good. It's what we're stuck with. We're going to have a look at the game. We're going to open both games. We're going to load up a lobby. And we're going to see if we can find a game in either one and see how long it takes and, how many players there are. Alright, let's try again. So the other day there was just no players because I picked a really bad time. So we're going to try again, see if we can find a lobby in either game. We found one pretty quick. That only took like 5 seconds or so. We're joining a game in progress, something you can't do in Hot Wheels Unleashed 2. So, that's cool. We got a 4-player lobby. This might be more by the time the race ends, though. So it is something to keep an eye on. Jeez, this game's bringing back nostalgia. It's only been 2 months. While we wait for that, let's load up Hot Wheels Unleashed 2. Oh, this is a community track too. This is a cool track. These frames are a bit awful, but it's because my computer's been doing stuff. It looks like someone else has joined too. Boom. See how long it takes. And we can, flick between the two at any time. So it's taken us about 3.5 minutes to actually... Well, we haven't loaded it in because we've had to watch a lobby in progress. Does that count as search time? I don't know, man. This one has... with 2 players. It is a 3-player lobby. So, same lobby size, I guess? Unless it counts me. Socks Tribute by Milestone Team? Hello? What is this? Hang on. I've got to plug my controller in. Socks Tribute? So this video has just become 2 videos at once. I got to see what's going on with this. 5 plays in that one, and 3 plays in this, or 2 and 4. This is at 12 my time. Socks Tribute. Is this really a tribute to I'm Socks? That's amazing. From Milestone Team? I didn't jump because it doesn't have any... This game sucks, man. What? I forget what my jump button is. I haven't played in so long. There it is. And I didn't jump enough. Oh my fucking god. Broseph. I'm sorry, but you can't put blind jumps like that. Yeah, monkey. Like... Oh, this one has a marker, but I don't need to fucking use it. Nothing I hate more in this game than seeing a track for the first time. And then just getting screwed because I didn't know there was a jump there. And the frames are bad. Oh, it's just a reminder that I hate this game. So many things that I'm seeing right here that are like, this is why this game has got half the population of the other one. It's not just the price. People are like, oh, the price is definitely affecting it. I don't feel like it is. It's definitely not a price thing. I mean, like, price definitely affects it. But people had no problem paying full price for the first game. It had 2,000 players on launch. Like, at once, sorry. Like... I'm apparently in first now. I don't even know how. I don't think I've passed anyone. I guess they were just falling off. There's someone to pass. Is he still on the first lap? Was he really... Like, was this guy stuck on that jump for so long? Or what's going on there? Alright, now it says I'm in second. It's so nice in a game with an elimination mode that is timer-based, not lap-based. The game spends so much time having no idea if you're in first or not. Apparently I'm in third now. Like, you hit it anyway, just fly through it, guys. Like, just... Why even jump? I genuinely pressed the wrong button to jump. That's my bad. Ah! What if I just didn't have enough boost there? I mean, it hasn't happened, but what if I didn't? Worse yet, it's a double jump that you basically need to do. I just didn't want to drift then. Ah, I got wall glued. Just touched the wall because I looked away. Have some glue, bro. I was talking to Accelerace the other day, and he said that, yeah, wall glue pretty much ruined this game for him. It was like the end of it. He hates it. It's... You know. And I get it. Like, there's people that genuinely don't want to play this game because of that mechanic. Oh my god. I thought the thing was going up. Come on, there was smoke. Dog shit game. Truly dog shit game. And just poor track design from the Milestone team here. Calling it Sox Tube may not be an homage to Sox, but if it is, it does not do justice for the incredible track designer that Sox is. It does use the tubes that similar to his, but I just don't think it is meant to be that. I hope it's not anyway, because that's disrespectful. The track is awful. Yeah, so the previous race we watched 3 guys go to the end. This race, me and two other people went most of the way, and then one left. I actually enjoyed watching someone else play Hot Wheels Unleashed 1 more than I did playing Hot Wheels Unleashed 2 myself. But anyway, yeah, so the question is the game dead on arrival? Yes. Like, I don't know how, like, you'd have an average players this low on such a regular basis and think the game is doing well. Let's go this and this. Like, the stats speak for themselves. This one isn't really losing players, as we're 11 days into December. We haven't really lost players, whereas this one, we've lost a significant portion of players just over the last 12 days, or 11 days. I think that's notable. Like, the average players is down. The average players here is up. People are returning to the first Hot Wheels Unleashed. So they've had their crack at Hot Wheels Unleashed 2, and they're genuinely going back, or they're getting new players. Either way. Like, how this game is gaining players, where Hot Wheels Unleashed 2 is losing players. Like, we can see in October, this was a big one, and September as well. These were big because people were saying goodbye to the game, expecting that they were never going to play it again. And that hasn't been the case. It isn't a financial thing, because money wasn't a problem with getting the first game. People were happy to pay for the first game. People have not been happy to pay for the second. Maybe everyone's just content with the first one. That's a possibility. Who knows? Either way, as someone who hasn't been a fan of Milestone, I'm happy to see this crash and burn. Genuinely. This is what happens when you half-ass a game. They told us that it was going to have crossplay on launch, which it didn't. Not proper crossplay. The crossplay we've got is awful because you can't play with people. That's not crossplay. That's like calling Destiny an MMO. You aren't interacting with those people. Yes, there are other people in the world, but they don't do anything. You can't interact with them in any way. Just like this, you can't interact with someone from another console. I can't race Dan do 6 lobbies in a row because I have to find him in a new game every time. It doesn't work. They just shouldn't have launched it with that. The only thing Hot Wheels Unleashed 2 has going for it that the first one doesn't is the new cars. The cars are amazing. The car rosts are beautiful. I love it. That could have been a DLC. Could have been multiple DLCs. If they can add crossplay to a game, add it to the first one. Heck, they could. They did. We had crossplay in the first one. It's just, it wasn't worth another game. So yeah, I genuinely regret spending money on this game. Even though someone else gave me the money for it, I regret them spending money on this game on my behalf. I would rather get the refund and give the money back to them, just so it's not in Milestone's pocket. Well, it'll only take it from Steam. Anyway, toodaloo. I got a little sidetracked there, but goodbye Hot Wheels Unleashed 2. I want to say I don't foresee myself opening it. I will, because there's acceleration stuff coming out, and I'm going to milk it for content. Toodaloo. See you then. I already paid for it. Why would I not?